everybody, and welcome back to my Mounjaro journey. So this t-shirt irritating me because it's a bit big now and it just sits and rides up here. Right, okay, it's been a long time. So yeah, welcome back to my journey. Welcome to all my lovely new followers. Thank you for being our Mounjaro buddies, and welcome to my wonderful Mounjaro buddies that have been following me for some time. Itchy nose. Oh dear, sorry, has to be done. As usual, the disclaimer is I'm not medical, not a medical professional. So if you've got any medical questions, go see your GP, doctor, prescribing pharmacist, diabetic nurse, whatever. Excuse him, he's tapping in the background. I'll explain that in a minute. And I get this on the NHS for metabolic issues, which, fingers crossed, are seeming to be quite okay at the moment. He's going to be making a lot of noise, but I'll explain about that in a minute. It's been a bit of time, hasn't it? Last week, we were really upset in this household about Ozzy passing away. Big fans of Black Sabbath and Ozzy Osbourne. So when I got to Friday, when I was going to do a video, I'd had to take little man to the vet. It'd been a bit of time coming, but he needed to go and have blood tests done to see how the medication is dealing with him and, you know, not upsetting the rest of his body. As it happens, his kidneys, despite the fact he's on Frusedale or Frusemide water tablets, diuretics, he's doing okay. Proteins are good in the kidneys. Couple of little bits, and also his potassium is low, so he has to have this stuff here called, the things over the label so you can't see, it's called Caminox. It's a potassium mineral additive I give to him. But his main issue has been his liver. Would you believe? It's where everything gets metabolized, isn't it? So he's on this 2 tablets a day. Don't work great for humans. Excuse me. Something sticky on that bit of cheese or something. They don't work great for humans. Milk thistle is supposed to work, but when you get to certain, the fibrosis and things like I've got, you're not going to get rid of it very easily with milk thistle. So yeah, with him, he's got very high enzymes, but he's also had upset stomach and a few other bits and pieces, so hoping it will come down. So he had been through this hot weather, and even when it cooled down a bit, didn't want to go for a walk very much. Very, very sleepy, very tired. Not as responsive as he was, and I was quite concerned. So we got him off to the vet and had that done. Apart from that, though, lots of other areas, fabulous. His joints got a bit of arthritis in, but not bad. I mean, she was flapping his paws like this, and she said, I've never seen a dog at this age, because he's over 15 and a half, have paws that are like puppies. The joint movement is so smooth. It's fabulous. I always say, well, that's the raw feeding for you, but of course it's breeding as well, because Sharon might be on here watching, so she'll know what I mean, that there's breeding is involved in it, but also raw feeding is good. But I've started him on this. He's got to have 2 a day for about 6 weeks. So he's got to have also some stuff for his kidneys, but I don't want to overload his system. So we started the milk thistle, which was quite urgent, and the joint supplement, because he has got some arthritis in his back as well, which would have been causing him some pain. It has been an extremely expensive week. Extremely expensive. I've got no money left now, and buy all his tablets and everything as well. So, yeah, so come Friday, I wasn't entirely wanting to sit and do a video because it had been quite, I was quite worried about the whole thing, and I'd not slept very well, and etc. etc. But he's 15 and a half. He's a Cocker Spaniel, 15 and a half. He is not going to live forever, but he needs to be comfortable. And if there's a possibility that these liver enzymes will come down, I mean, he's having bits of boiled broccoli, which are fabulous. Slightly steamed or slightly boiled broccoli for dogs, just for anybody that needs to know. Any sort of vegetables, if you want to get the minerals out of them and vitamins for dogs, you do need to do that because they can't absorb it through their stomach. So if you give them raw carrot, they love the taste, but nothing absorbs into them. So anyway, I'm going to stop talking about that now because you're not here to hear about my dog's liver problems. But the vet did try and teach me to suck eggs a little bit, and I had to say, well, here's a thing. So anyway, that's how it went. So I got to Saturday. I had to go and pick the medicine up from the vets on Saturday. And just this week has gone by so quickly. So the weight before, not this Monday before my weight, it was at 150.7. Which is, it's been teetering, so fed up with it. I have totally fed up with it, but I think, the stress and things sometimes, and the heat we've had, and water, and I think our bodies they get into that rut, don't they? We don't go into starvation mode because starvation mode doesn't exist, but what it does do is you have as your body's getting used to the metabolism slowing with less food in it, it responds and brings the metabolism down to work with the food you've got going in your body. Some people talk about carb refeed. Some people talk about having a day or two where you just eat as you want to kickstart the metabolism. That's not really what I'm saying, but it's a couple of days where you're having more in your body, and your body is processing it more, and then you can go back to where you were calorie wise a couple of days later. It's a plateau. It's what it is, and I've just been going up and down, up and down, up and down. On that week, the 150.7 week, I did drop into the 149, so I went, yes! It went back up again. I even went up to 152.1. You tell me. I know things are working though, because last year, I put a picture up. I may find it again and pop it here while we're talking. A picture of me when I went to see the Foo Fighters at Aston Villa football ground. I actually saw Geezer Butler from Black Sabbath play there, and that was the first time anybody from Black Sabbath had played at Aston Villa. So, but anyway, beside the point, it's not what you want to hear about. I bought several t-shirts. I've got quite a number of, we've talked about this, t-shirts. One of the t-shirts, and I didn't take a photograph of it because I was busy yesterday, but it is a 2XL t-shirt. It's probably a little bit more stretchy because it's a finer t-shirt. It's not a heavy t-shirt material. It's 2XL. I actually was able to go and walk in it without feeling like my stomach was sticky. I mean, it was a bit, but my stomach will go down. We're all there, aren't we? Some of us have got bigger stomachs than others, and the stomachs don't go down as quickly. I mean, so, yeah. Now, I was going to do a thing on food, wasn't I? From the 2XL t-shirt. So anyway, it's fitting. So I was going to do a thing on food. I'll have to do that next week now. I had a really interesting conversation. She may well be watching this. If you are, hello, Kelly. Friend of mine who I know through Cocker Spaniels and forums and things. There's a lot of us know each other. Some of us have met, some of us haven't met, but you know we know each other quite well. You interact a lot on Facebook and things, and I saw her name pop up in the Mounjaro group. So I sent her a link to these videos to see what she had to say, because it was a Ozempic, Wegovy, and Mounjaro. So she could have come back and said, "Oh, I'm on Ozempic or Wegovy or something." So anyway, yeah, she's just started on her journey, and we had a really lovely conversation this morning. She was asking me a few things, and I was giving the best of my knowledge. And we both discussed constipation. We didn't, it's got to be there. And I said the prunes is a good one. They seem to be on 5. If I take some prunes, I'm doing okay. I had, was it last week? Yeah, last Saturday. Oh, I felt quite sore since. Because of the doggy thing, I hadn't taken any prunes for a couple of days. Oh, that was sore, and I needed to go to the vet before it shut on Saturday morning to get the medicine, and I had to go in the car. No, I don't need to fill that in. You've got that, haven't you? It wasn't comfortable anyway. So this is probably why the weight's been up, down, and around. But yeah, it's lovely to hear from Kelly, and I hope her journey goes well. I hope she will stick with us, even though I waffle a lot. She's a lovely lady, and yeah, welcome to everybody that's joined. But I know Kelly, so I can say welcome. And Sharon, I know, is around somewhere. Hopefully she'll see this, and welcome. She's been doing absolutely fabulously on Mounjaro as well, and really pleased to see some pictures from her. Something I was, before we get to the weight, because I want to keep this relatively short, something I want to talk about. Somebody in a group mentioned that they had, well, it's in a couple of groups actually, mentioned that they'd been in touch with a company, a pharmacy, and the prices of Mounjaro were really good, and they wanted to purchase these. I've got this written down because I need to be a little bit, make sure I get this right. I have considered whether I should put the screenshots up. I don't know yet. Maybe at a later point. Not now, maybe. We'll talk about it. Anyway, I thought, see what they're going to say. Found the company on, they have a Facebook page, but I found them on Instagram. I think it's 8 or 9 videos, and they were really, there was nothing. If I'd gone to it and thought, oh, this is a pharmacy, I think I'll buy from here, I would be kicking myself going, no, you're not. It just didn't look right. Anyway, so I sent a message. I thought, I'll give it a try, see what they have to say. So I said, do send to the UK, because I'd looked up their company, and the first company of that name came up as being in India. So I thought, I'll ask that. It's an opener, isn't it? And they said, yes, we're based in the UK. I said, oh, that's fabulous, that's wonderful. And they asked me what it was I was looking at, and I said I was looking at trying to get Mounjaro. And they put up a whole series of things. They had a starting pack with 2.5, and the price, a lot cheaper than anywhere else, a lot cheaper. a 2-month starter pack, so you could have a 2.5 and a 5, and a 3-month starter pack. The 2.5, 5, 7.5. The first question I got asked was, are you starting, just starting, or are you looking to switch? And I said, no, I'm just starting, I'm looking into it. And they said, oh, that's great. WhatsApp me and I'll give you a consultation. And they put their phone number, and I thought, nah, I don't want to do that. I said, oh, I'm really sorry, I don't have WhatsApp. They said, oh no, that's fine, we'll do it here. Okay. So they are. I said, do you need my doctor's details or anything? Nothing, not a reply to that at all. So they asked me what my weight was, so I gave them my weight. What my height was, gave them my height. Are you diabetic, pre-diabetic, or non-diabetic? And I said, just for ease, I said, well, I don't know. I don't think I am. Nobody said anything. I don't think so. Okay, then you're non-diabetic. How do they know? Next question. Have you got any thyroid issues? Well, the answer to that is yes. But I didn't say anything about that. Or family thyroid cancer. And I said no, because there's no family thyroid cancer. But thyroid issues, I've got thyroid issues. That's not been a consideration at all on Mounjaro. So why they're saying that, I don't know. Their reply was that they would most definitely recommend that I start Mounjaro as soon as possible. It's the greatest way to lose weight. And then this little bit of writing that made me feel uncomfortable just reading it was, start at the lowest dose, move up depending on how you like the suppression. I get what they mean, but it's not something a medical person would say, how you like the suppression. And my diabetic nurse said to me, if the suppression disappears on 5, just ask, you can move right the way up. She said, you're cleared to go all the way up to 15 if you need. So when and if it disappears on 5, go up. This one, how you like the suppression. I think. Now, bearing in mind when they gave me all their prices in the beginning, they put the pound sign at the end. So, for example, let's just say, I'm going to use a figure it definitely isn't, okay? So you can't, 500 and then a pound sign. We don't write it like that. So that rang alarm bells. Euros are written like that, so it could be a European country. It could be somewhere else. Person. I don't think these people are chemists and pharmacists. They then asked when I would like to order, and I said, well, probably be next week now. And then I asked, is that the consult done? Do you need any pictures? Again, reiterated, do you need to speak to my GP? And they just said, message me when you're ready to order. So, complete dismissal. Didn't answer any other questions apart from, unless you're going to order now, I don't want to know. Now, I thought I would talk about this because there are people in groups, there are people that are falling for this. Now, the medicine might be totally legit, but how do you know? And these people are not being checked correctly. How does anybody know that person's medical history? And they're just going to prescribe them an injectable drug. And there's no medical history. I would hazard a guess that the person has no medical training, and it's incredibly dangerous. You mightn't even be getting what you think you're getting in the box. They show you that they've got the boxes, but when they turn up, how do you not know that they mightn't come in little syringes? I was quite dumbfounded, to be absolutely honest with you. I don't know how you feel about it, but I would just, for sale on Instagram. Who would go to Instagram to buy medicine? Honestly, or Facebook. So, if you get slightly swayed because of the prices of these things, don't be. Don't, because you are taking your life in your hands with this, because you don't know if it's the proper medication. You don't know if it's the correct dosage. Even if it is, they're not doing medical assessments in the correct way. And they're supposed to be in touch with your GP, aren't they? Honestly, these people, they make me angry. I know a lot of people used to get angry about people taking the golden dose and clicks and this, that, and the other. I can understand that with the proper pens that are prescribed or come from a proper pharmacy. I wouldn't do it because I have health issues, so I have to be careful. The 5th dose, whether it works or not, I don't know. Whether in time the official line will be you can take it, I don't know. But until such time as that, I'm not going to take it. There are people on the internet who will tell you that their doctor has said that you can do clicks. Maybe you can, maybe you can't. But are you going to listen to a person behind a screen on the internet, or are you going to go and speak to your doctor? That's the thing you must do. Then you make a decision. But never not tell anybody what you're doing in case you get told off, because it doesn't matter. As I've often said to you, make sure you have blood tests done and make sure that your doctor is aware of all your diabetic nurse, is aware of what you're doing if you're paying for it yourself. That way, if anything goes wrong, put it into the perspective of my position. If you remember, my HbA1c, which is my blood glucose, was 51 in December, and I was on 2 metformin a day. I started Mounjaro in February, still with 2 metformin. I had my bloods done in June, 5th of June, wasn't it? I think, yeah, 5th of June. And my HbA1c came back as 29. What if I'd have gone and bought that privately and nobody knew that I was on it, and my bloods had gone down so dramatically? They might question it. They might be quite confused by it. You need to just be upfront with everybody. It doesn't matter whether somebody tells you off. There will be doctors out there that agree with Mounjaro. There will be doctors that don't agree with it. There will be family members and friends that sit there telling you that injecting something is dreadful. You mustn't do that. It's bad for you. And there will be people that will support you wholeheartedly. But always remember to look after yourself. Make sure that you are the priority, always. And when it comes to something like buying it off of Instagram because you haven't got the finance necessarily, just don't. Not having the finance could be the difference between having something really drastic go wrong and not. I know it's easy for me to say because I get it prescribed, but I get it prescribed because I have illnesses, and if I couldn't get it prescribed, there's not a lot I could do about it. But I certainly wouldn't go to somewhere like Instagram to try and buy some. Anyway, that's my rant over. Oh, crikey, it's 25 minutes. Right, I've got to turn page over again to go back to where we were. Right, so my weight Monday before last was 150.7. You're going to love this. My weight the following Monday, that's this Monday, was 150.05, which is 0.65 down, which is just over a pound down. I haven't done the exact. Then on Tuesday and Wednesday, I was 149.55, which means, okay, I've got 2 days now. Yesterday, I was 149.35, which is, if I remember correctly, it's 23.7. It might be 20, no, I don't think it's 23.6. I think it's 23.7. Obviously, these are being put up here for you. I got up this morning, I was 150 flat. Why? Don't know. And then this explains your body, right? I then went, I had, the prunes did a good job. Let's put it that way. And I went and weighed straight afterwards. I thought, I'm going to see what this is now. 151.35. That's inflammation in your body, because you get me. It's difficult to say anything without sounding rude, I guess. But then I got on, and I wish I'd taken a picture of this, but I was going to have a shower, and I thought, oh, let's see what I am just as a 149.8. Now, bearing in mind I've eaten through the day. Actually, I've eaten quite a bit today because I'm feeling a bit. I've been feeling a bit unwell, a bit tired and things. So I think somewhere, I think I'm in the 149s. Let's hope I have. I've certainly had. Now this is the 4th reading of 149. And one reading the week before. So, yeah, I'm quite excited about that because we're now starting to get into territory I really haven't been into since forever. Yeah, I wanted to get down to 150. I tell you what, let me just very quickly tell you this little story. When I was caring for my mum, back in about 2007, I think that was about the time, correct me if I'm wrong, when the Nintendo Wii came out, and my other half bought me one for Christmas. He managed to get hold of 2 and sold one on for a bit of a profit. So he got me the Nintendo Wii. The intention was to use the things and move about. And he also bought me the yoga board that went with it. Like a step board, but you could do yoga on it and all bits and pieces. Yeah, so he got me that, and I couldn't. All right, little man. He's wanting some food again. Oh, yeah. He says yes. So the intention was for me to use the yoga board, but as far as I remember, you had to be under 138 kilos or 35 kilos. I think it might have been 150. It's somewhere in my mind. I think it was 150, but it could be 130. So anyway, it doesn't matter. At the time, I was about 28 and a half, nearly 29 stone, which was just like, yeah, where we've been. I never even thought I would lose a stone. I always used to say, oh, it's all right for these people. It's, oh, I've got to lose 3 stone. Well, I wouldn't try losing what I've got to lose. And it got to the point where you'd think about it and think, oh, I can't do it. It's not possible, is it? Well, it's possible, even with a dodgy thyroid. Right, I'm going to go because I'm sure you're absolutely bored stiff of me now. So let's see how my weight goes. Let's see if I can maintain the 149. But you know what? I've been up and down so much in the last month. I wouldn't be surprised if 150 turns up somewhere. On jab day. It's got to happen, isn't it? It's going to happen that way. Right. I shall go. This video currently is nearly 45 minutes long, so I'm going to edit that down because I've waffled. And I'll catch up with you soon. Do not go buying Mounjaro from unauthorised sources, okay? If it's too cheap, be suspect. As I say to my dog, when he gets all excited about something he's sniffing, if it's too good, it's no good. All right, take care, and I shall see you soon. Bye.